that'd be great. And once you showed up and played for them, they'd be stoked that they had you out, obviously. But yeah, with the internet and everything like that, everybody expects, and it's almost like a given that you need to be able to program drums these days so that you can put your ideas down and all that, So what software are you currently using, if any, or what do you got going on in terms of recording capabilities?
So I've tried Audacity in the past, and it gets the job done for really simple stuff. So I just started going down. I bought Reaper, and
Reaper's not free. I thought that was the free one. No.
Well, there's a free version that you get for a while, but then it was like $60 or something. Nothing too bad, But I haven't gone down the path of like, these $300, $400 programs. And to be honest, you open them up. I've seen trials, and they're a little intimidating. With, just there's so much shit you can pick from and whatever. And for me, it's like, yeah, that's awesome, but I kind of want to get down to my meat and potatoes and start ripping. But I know it takes patience, right? So
yeah, well, with any DAW, digital audio workstation, it's like stepping into a spaceship. Like I'm trying to fly the space shuttle when you first walk in. Trust me, I know. I'm actually trying to learn a program called Final Cut Pro, and which is like iMovie, like a powerful video editing software. And I'm absolutely proficient in Pro Tools, which is the audio, my DAW. Have you heard of Pro Tools?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that's what I work with every single day, as I'm producing music and songwriting and everything, and I'm totally proficient in that. I can remember the first time I opened it, though, and thinking what I'm thinking right now about Final Cut Pro. So what do? I happen to use this site called lynda.com, Lynda, and it's this online training platform for all sorts of software, everything from Excel to movie making things to audio to photography to just anything you could think, and they're all super well done. And it's a pay thing because you can find a million tutorials for everything online, but you have to, on YouTube, and some of them are fantastic for free, some of them aren't. You have to sift through that.
Yeah,
if you pay a little bit, like with Lynda, and I'm no Lynda spokesman or anything trying to sell you on it or whatever, but I've had great success with it, and I think it's like $25 a month. But they give you a free month trial. You can check out absolutely everything for free for the first month, and then you just cancel if you don't want it or whatever. So every once in a while, when I need to learn something, like I did have a subscription, and that basically taught me Pro Tools, and now I make a living from it. So it was worth the 5 months or whatever that I took the courses. I crammed in as much as I could. This is back years ago. When I taught myself Pro Tools, I had a general knowledge of it because I'd been in the studio for years recording, with gear and everything. But I was never the engineer. But I always paid attention. But I basically taught myself Pro Tools from this thing, bought the software, just dove in head first, and now I make a living from it. So it's a fantastic site. So what I'm getting at is, now I did pay for it, but now I cheat it by like I just do a free month trial with a different email address every time that I need to.
Yeah, haven't we all done that?
Right. So that's what I'm doing for Final Cut Pro right now. But anyways, sometimes that's just the way to do it. Just dive in and learn. And let me I'm just going to look right now and see if they have Reaper, since you're already a little bit familiar with that.
Yeah, sure.
If you were to dive into a recording program, would you want it to be Reaper?
Maybe. I mean, honestly, I was just kind of trying it, and I'm trying to look at my options. I know, think about, I don't know if you're going to be able to find like an all-in-one type of program. I got to program the drums, and I bought a book sitting around somewhere, but it's very simple on like, here's the concepts behind programming drums, and I know beats and 1s, 2s, and 3s and 4s and whatever. And
that's the thing. If you have any knowledge of how a drum beat works, if you could play this with your hands, which if you're playing trumpet in a jazz band, I guarantee you can go like this, right?
Oh yeah, man. That's okay. Very simple.
So
right?
you have a knowledge of that. I need to put a hi-hat on whatever, every quarter beat, and a kick and snare on the 1 and 3 or whatever. As long as you have that, it's basically programming MIDI drums. Oh, I don't know how much of this you know or not, so I'm just going to explain it like you know nothing. But it's just a grid, and you have your measures, your beats and bars or whatever, and you just plug in where you want to kick, plug in where you want to snare. I mean, I'm sure you've reversed engineered some of those beats you've gotten, or I don't know, but.
No, I get what you're saying. Yeah, the grid and whatnot. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. And it makes sense. I can look at it and I can play the beat in my head if I were to see it like or whatever.
Exactly. Exactly. So as long as if you have in your head, it's already going to be easy. It's just a matter of putting what's in your head on there and spacebar over and over again and listening to it and making it happen, and then realizing, oh, I want to change to a triplet feel here. How do I do that? And then an hour later, you figure it out, and stuff. So, anyways, this does have Reaper programs. It says learning Reaper 5 and Reaper 4. Do you know what version you have?
I can tell you in a minute. Oh shit! This is gonna. Yeah, it's 5.
Perfect.
5.
So anyway, it'd probably be worth it to check that out. Like, if you're interested in taking that down, like I said, it was Lynda, Linda with a Y instead of an I, lynda.com. As soon as it comes up, just type in the search Reaper, and you'll see right there it says Learning Reaper 5. It's a 2-hour and 20-minute course, and it says Getting Up and Running with Reaper and the up-and-coming DAW for Windows and OS X. Do you use Windows or Mac?
Windows.
Okay. Learn how to record audio and MIDI, edit tracks, and mix and master your projects. So I guarantee you they'll show you things like, do you have any type of interface to get your guitar in there?
I've just been using a microphone directly into my sound card.
And then you put that microphone on your amp? Or
yeah.
Okay.
So I had a actually right here. I got this guy, but when I was moving, it fell out of the trailer, and I was hoping it would still work. It doesn't work anymore. So okay. I used to use this. It was awesome, just to get plugged in. But
okay, so you would use that as your interface. You'd plug your guitar into there. It would come into Reaper.
Yep, right.
As a DI signal, and then would you put in a plug-in for distortion?
No, I typically just go with the amps distortion.
So you would use the interface with a microphone? So you wouldn't plug your guitar into the interface, you'd plug the microphone into the interface and have the microphone on the cab?
Yeah, I could do that, or I could use the line out from the amp into the interface.
Gotcha.
Which
okay.
I feel like you lose a little bit of the magic of the actual speaker itself, but you can do it still.
So you have then recorded audio into Reaper before?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Okay, good. And have you done anything like set up your tempo map, like get a click going or things like that yet?
Yeah, that's probably one of the most frustrating things. Is I'll put the click track on and then I'll play what I think it should be. Or I'll play what I think it should be, and then put the click track on and go, oh man, my timing is like way off. So like you put that click track on and all right, keeps you on time. But yeah, set up your grid or whatever it is for the right tempo. It makes it a lot easier to cut segments out, I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah. So are you saying you're having an issue determining your tempo? Like you think it's supposed to be one tempo, so you set up your tempo map for, let's say, I don't know, 160 BPM. You go to play the riff and you realize it's too fast or too slow or something? Is that what you're saying?
No, I was just like a passing comment saying, hey, sometimes it's nice to hear with the click track because then you go, oh yeah, get yourself back on track, right?
Oh, good. Yeah. Playing to a click is an essential. Being able to great timing, which I can tell you already had, at least from the little bit you played me right there. I think that you have good timing, and that's a great tool to have and essential for playing in any type of. If you're playing in a jazz band on trumpet, you must.
Yeah, that timing is key.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, but anyways, yeah, playing like anytime that if I have a drummer that comes in to record or whatever, and he's like, oh, I don't want to play to a click, and then I'm like, sorry, bro. In this day and age, to record and get what you're looking for, you want to sound like the Black Dahlia Murder or something like that. You got to play to a click or whatever. So that's, but learning how to set up your click and play to that and create maps for your songs and put songs together to be able to present to people or whatever, is essential in learning that. And I'm sure that this type of software would teach you exactly how to do that if you had any, if you weren't sure about it in any way right now. But so the whole point of this, what I'm getting at is if you can, get Reaper up and going and get your guitar tracks in there, it's then getting drums in there somehow. And I recommend a program called Easy Drummer. Have you ever heard of that?
No, really the only one I've heard of is like Fruity Loops.
Okay. I know people that use Fruity Loops too. I've never personally. I did way back in the day, like when it first came around and you only had like 4 bars. It would only like loop like 16 beats. You know, so we had to like do one section and record it in, then write a whole nother. You couldn't do it back to back and make your song, have your song play so that you could play guitar to it. It was super tedious.
Wow.
But I'm looking at Sweetwater here. Are you familiar with Sweetwater?
I never heard of that. No.
Sweetwater.com is an excellent site. It's like it'd be like GuitarCenter.com or whatever, but they have everything, and they're a great company if you're ever looking for any type of gear whatsoever. But I'm just seeing how much Easy Drummer costs.
What is it?
Sweetwater.com?
No, the Easy Drummer. That's just another program?
It's a drum creation software. It's like the industry standard drum creation software, and it's excellent. Excellent. Yeah. $150. So basically, dudes have put out incredible albums with Easy Drummer, and it's exactly that. It's easy, and there are so many videos online about how to get that going. How to get your basically what you would do in Reaper. This is one way. This is what I would do, but I'm sure there are many ways. But you would open an instrument track maybe, or a VST track, something to put a virtual instrument on, like an Easy Drummer or like a grand piano or a synthesizer plug-in, something like that. So you make like an instrument track. You'd instantiate Easy Drummer. It would come up as a MIDI roll. You'd see your MIDI. You know, you expand that and make it big, and there you go. Now you play through the keys, and there's your kick drum, your snares, your hi-hats, your crashes, your rides, all that kind of stuff. And you know, you just start plugging away. And before you know it, you've created some sort of a little arrangement, a verse, an intro verse into a chorus or whatever like that. It sounds great. You'll have a ton of fun doing it. Then at that point, you start putting in your guitars over that, and it's just a learning process. Before you know it, you'll be able to put songs together and stuff like that.
Yeah, I guess I'll try a trial of it at least. You know, $150, man. So I'll try it. I'll try it. You know.
Are you okay? Good. But are you? I'm sure you could get it free if you know how to do that type of stuff. Like, do you know? Are there like what are those called? Like torrent sites or whatever? Do you use anything like that?
Well, so I am definitely. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. I just don't know the rules on talking about that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I could.
You mean somebody's watching us right now? I'm not saying they're not, but I don't think they are. But they may be. I don't know. So you're saying you don't want to talk about it? All right. Well, anyways,
I'm saying I know exactly what you mean, man.
Okay, good. Yeah, just try it out. You know, like I'm in favor. I know this sounds like some sense of entitlement. But so many thousands of people over the years have pirated my music for free. I feel this like that if I want to get something, I should be able to just because of that. But if I believe in this sort of honor system where if I use it and I really like it and I make money from it, then I buy it. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's exactly what I do with artists. So the first time I got into Chimera, a buddy showed me. So yeah. I downloaded all of Chimera, listened to it, and I went out and bought the whole discography. So,
amen to that. And that's fine, man. In this day and age, you could try before you buy, you know? And there are a lot of people that wouldn't go buy it, you know? But the people that do help make the world go round, you know?
Yep.
So, anyway, if you know how to acquire this, try it out. They may even offer trials, you know? I'm sure all these companies offer trials, too. If you went to the TuneTrack website, who makes Easy Drummer, too, and there are probably dozens of great ones. This is just the one that I recommend that I know people. I have the next version. I have Superior Drummer, which is like you need to learn this first sort of thing. You know, Superior comes with all raw sounds. So it's like a raw kick drum, raw kick drum and snare sound that were recorded great in great studios, great snare drums, lots of snare drum selections with great microphones, great preamps, all recorded real well. But then you do your own processing to make it sound how you want, your own EQ and compression and all those type of things that you'll eventually learn about if you decide to take this path. Where Easy Drummer, all the kits just sound fantastic right out the gate. There's no tweaking. There's no tweaking. So they're just ready to go. But so you say, well, why would anybody want anything different than that? Some people want to be able to tweak it further, you know, and create their own sounds. So like, you know, if I'm producing a band, maybe I want to make my own drums for sound for them that fits their style more than using a Ross Robinson preset or a Terry Date preset. I don't know if you know those guys. Like Terry Date's a Pantera producer. Ross Robinson's like the Korn Slipknot producer. You know, so like this will come with preset like sounds from those producers, and they sound fantastic. And no one would ever listen to a song you made and be like, "Hey, you know, those sound like the drums that were used on the Black Album," or something like that. No one would ever know. But sometimes you want that flexibility, and you go and do it. You know. But so I do recommend this.
Sounds like I need to learn how to crawl before I walk, though. On that is what you're.
I recommend it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
you know?
for sure.
I recommend it. But yeah, so the first step would be just learning how to create those things. And all this that we spent this time talking about is coming towards it. I think that maybe just based on what I heard you play right now, that the next level for you is getting your music somehow into a format where you can work on it creatively in an environment where you can edit and audition and try different tempos and try different choruses in different spots and move, like, would this part sound better coming before this part? How does this riff go into this riff? Rather than just kind of doing that all in your mind right now and recording it just via clips on your phone or however you said you recorded it.
Yeah, that's how it's going right now. And I feel like I have good idea for, ideas, and I could make it into a song. I just don't know. Maybe it sounds like some of the stuff you're just showing me. I need to watch some of these tutorials and go through that, and start going down that path. I think you're right.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that would open up a cool world for you. On the flip side, before any of this existed, let's just say, I'll take myself, I had to just, before any of this technology, so this is, as short as 15 years ago, let's say the first few Chimera albums, were done before any type of computers, before we got into the studio and recorded it, but we showed up with all the songs ready to go and ready to be recorded, but I just had to write all these songs in my head. Or with the drummer, and then you have to remember everything and stuff. So that's another way too. You can write your songs and just put part after part and everything. I mean, do you have any songs that you put together that kind of from start to finish?
Well, a lot of what I've done from start to finish has just been like, to be honest, it's just a bunch of riffing around, So it's cool, and then I never really go back and revisit it because I'll listen to it and go, oh man, this part sounded like shit, and whatever, and then I start something else and I never get back to it.
Mm-hmm. Are you interested in writing your own material, or do you see yourself like joining a band and playing somebody else's material? What's your headspace on that?
I definitely am interested in writing my own stuff. Even if honestly, I'd be fine if I'm not, big, whatever, I just like writing music and playing and stuff, and it'd be nice for other people to hear some of it, but so I would like that, but I wouldn't mind playing in a band and playing other people's music too. I mean, yeah. I feel like the unfortunate truth about the way people listen to music is they only want to hear what they already know. I'm generalizing this, but people in general, I feel. So it's hard to get new material out there and get people to listen to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not that I'm discouraged by that, but I feel like if I join another band or whatever, you kind of have to play some covers and whatnot, otherwise it seems like, well, who the heck are these guys,
Exactly. Like when I joined Chimera maybe 3 months after they had started jamming. And of course I had to learn that stuff before I started saying to those guys, hey, check out my riff, sort of thing. Here, check let's work on some of my riffs or whatever. So yeah, you got to go
right in
that situation.